Okay, peeps, welcome back. So today we are going to be showing you how you can retire with the YieldMax ETF CONY or the Coinbase ETF, the YieldMax Coinbase ETF. Let's get it. So the first thing I want to pull up is the charts of CONY. As you guys can see, we have had a slight, or this is actually not CONY. Sorry, this is Coinbase. We've had a slight uptrend since the end of last year into Coinbase. As you guys can see, the price topped out pretty much. I can tell you guys right now, this was the crypto bull market cycle top. This is when Bitcoin dumped. This is when everything else dumped. And as you guys know, Coinbase, well, they buy and sell and trade. They allow you to buy and sell and trade cryptocurrencies. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and scroll over to, just so you know, when the RSI and the MACD do turn bullish like this, you see these golden crosses. That usually indicates a long-term uptrend. So this is the weekly time frame, and we are roughly about 6 months out from the halving. So I'm actually expecting the charts to move up into the halving, and then when the halving ends up happening, you guys can see the price movement on the second peak here was pretty large. So just something to keep in mind going into the future. Now we take a look at the price of CONY. It's actually held stable pretty well, to be honest. So we had a rough September. As you guys know, September was bearish. It usually is for both crypto and stocks. And you can see that we had like a little bouncy bounce here in early October. So that's good. We held support. But it is still at a discount from the highs. So it's actually a good time to buy right now. Not financial advice. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the numbers. Oh, one other thing before we get into that, just so you guys know, the volatility of Coinbase is way more extreme during crypto bull runs. As you can see, we had a 50% drop here, which is indicative of the percentage drop on Bitcoin. And then we had another 73% move to the upside. And the bear market was a pretty substantial drop here from the high to the low, about minus 90%. So keep that in mind. That could potentially reflect in the CONY price in the future. So anyways, now that we're on to the actual CONY ETF, as you guys can see, the recent payout was $1.20. We did have a comment saying that it was roughly about a month and a half's worth of trading. So it's possible that this could only be 80 cents, but because they paid $1.20, we're going to go with that instead. Again, keep in mind the volatility of Coinbase typically is much greater than the rest of these stocks because we're talking about crypto. Crypto is the most volatile asset on the planet. Trust me when I tell you, I know because I personally have bought and sold and traded crypto. And yeah, it can be a little scary if you don't know what you're doing. We'll just put it like that. So being invested in an ETF that pays you passive income on a crypto exchange instead of the cryptocurrencies is probably a little, I would say a little bit less volatile than like some small cap altcoin or something. So anyways, we thought it was going to pay in September, but it didn't. It paid its first payment in October. So if it turns out to be 80 cents next month per share, that's fine. We have 15 shares, so I'm not too worried about it. Anyways, so let's get into the numbers. So we got the CONY ETF here. You guys can see it's an individual stock. The monthly distribution, we do want to reinvest the dividends. We have a starting amount here of basically $2,000 invested at the current share price, which comes out to be 103 shares. As you guys can see here on the numbers, if we scroll down, you see here 103 shares. The current price, which is actually $19.27 at the close. We'll start out investing $300 a month. Now, just so you guys know, if you wanted to just buy CONY outright and assume that everything stays the same, you'd basically be assuming that the share price is not going to stay the same, but the yield will stay the same. The initial amount of capital that you would have to invest to get the $5,000 a month, which is our goal here, is roughly about 80 grand. That is a lot, but it's not really a lot when you compare it to something like, I don't know, like PepsiCo would probably cost you like $1 million some dollars just to get $5,000 a month. So it's actually a pretty small amount of money, and it's doable for most people, I would say. So, anyways, you get your $3,600 a year here, or $300 a month. Dividend tax rate, the current dividend yield, which, as you guys can see right now, is the highest among the YieldMax ETFs. Definitely the highest by a long shot. No annual dividend increase because, again, the payouts fluctuate. We don't really know what it's going to be from month to month. We can only just assume based on volatility. That's actually what implied volatility means. It means that you're assuming that the payout's going to be based on what the current volatility is. But again, honestly, nobody really knows unless you actually trade options. So expected annual share price increase per year, 1%. I do think that's possible with crypto because crypto is a growing asset class, 10 years invested. So after year one, you would be at $1,400 a year. So I'd say roughly about $120 a month. Year two, you'd be at 5,500. So you're talking maybe about 450 a month, 13,000 after year three, just a little over 1,000 a month. Year four, you'd be at 27,000. So I'd say probably around maybe 2,300 a month. And keep in mind, this is all pre-tax. So you'd still have to pay taxes on this. Year five, you'd be at 53,000. Year six, you'd be over 100K, and then the rest is history from there. And as you guys can see, the balance is going up over time. So we're actually going to get more aggressive with this. We're going to say that you put in $500 a month. Take a look at the numbers here. As you guys can see, the numbers did change slightly. So in year three, you're looking at about 1,500 a month. Year four, you're at just over 3,000. Year five, you're looking at, I would say, roughly about $6,000 a month. Year six, you moved from 100,000 to 144,000. And then the snowball effect really kicks in for the last 5 years here, as you can see with both the capital appreciation and the dividend payout. There's a pretty large increase. Your ultimate capital net worth is almost 1.3 million higher in this situation after 10 years. So we're going to be even more ridiculous. We'll say you really want to get this thing going. You just want to retire fast. You don't want to think about it. You just want to get it done, right? So we'll put $1,000 a month in, and this is 1,000 out of your working capital. The rest would be dividends that are reinvested. So you're putting basically your active income and your passive income into this thing at the same time. So pretty substantial difference here. You don't really see much of a change in the first year, which is a bit odd. Let's see here. Yeah, for some reason, I would think that with putting 1,000 in a month, it would be much more than 120 in the first year, but we'll just go with it. So year two, you're going to get about $900 a month. Year three, about 2,500. Year four, there's your 5,000 a month right there. So $1,000 a month. By year four, you could hit 60K a year and pretty much retire off of CONY. And then 132,000 in year five instead of year six now. And you can see the principal balance is much larger. It's almost double at this point. And your monthly income is, well, basically about, I don't even know how much that is, like $250,000 a month. It's pretty crazy. So anyways, we'll go on to the next one here. This would be 2,000 a month. This would be your more extreme situation. So year one, still the same. Year two, you're looking at about $1,600 a month. Year three would be roughly about just under 5K a month. Year four, you're now at over 100,000 in year four instead of year six. Year five, you're looking at about 20,000 a month, and then it just goes on. And as you can see, the principal balance here really gets huge. It's, you're over 8 figures at that point, and you're over 7 figures in passive income. If you guys think that 7 figures in passive income is not possible, I can tell you right now it is possible because Warren Buffett has been doing it for years. And another channel that you guys might watch, shout out to him, is somebody by the name of Ethan Galstead. He's actually the reason that we found out about the grayscale ETFs. We knew about them, but we just had forgotten because, the whole crypto bear market and all the crypto exchange collapses and all that stuff, it kind of messes with investors' heads. So he also, I believe, I'm pretty sure I saw in one of his videos that he makes over 2 million a year in dividends. So it is possible, guys. So this is basically how you would retire on CONY. These are just mathematical numbers we're running here to see, what works and how long it takes to work. Something to keep in mind is crypto does typically have a bear market every 4 years. So this could affect the price of CONY. It could also affect the dividend yield, although I will say if the YieldMax ETFs are based on volatility, the more volatility there is, the more money they could make. I'm not really sure how it would work with extreme volatility like this. Like if they're doing a weekly options setup, I mean, you see this first red candle here is a 15% move. So you get some of the bigger candles here, like this one was an 18% move. I'm not really sure how they would handle that, but again, we are still technically in a bear market year. As you can see here, Coinbase has more or less chopped sideways since May of 2022. So this is known as accumulation in crypto. And the yield on CONY is actually still pretty good, even though the price of Coinbase is not really doing that much. So anyways, hope you all enjoyed the content. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think about CONY. If you want to buy a bunch, what you guys plan on doing with it. If you're buying, if you're selling, how much you think the yield's going to be next month, let us know. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.